Check it out. This video is about a Fresh and Fit clip from a Fresh and Fit episode where the host, Myron, destroys this OnlyFans chick. Check it out.
You think there is a crisis in dating? Do you think there's an inequity?
What do you mean inequity?
So
She should go back to high school.
For instance, a small group of men, and I'm not saying 20% of men are fucking 80% of women, but a small group of men, like say 30% of men are having sex with like 65% of the women.
No, I don't think
there's
that's, I don't think that's borne out by the data. That's only borne out by Tinder swipes and swiping. But when you look at the data, it doesn't seem that's
okay. Well, let's go from beyond the data. Let's look at the enormous amount of men that are addicted to porn. Let's look at
just like Myron's hair. I think he's on a wave.
The enormous amount of men that don't necessarily approach women anymore. You got women approaching this, and this is where you got to kind of take the stats and then also take common sense and look at like everything else. Hold on, stop. You got to look at the totality of the circumstances. Stats give you one picture, and then it's up to you to use critical thinking to establish the other picture. If guys are getting laid and they're fucking women, they're not going to be watching porn most of the time.
Then why
tell me why there's an enormous amount of men that have debilitating addictions to pornography. Matter of fact, you benefit from it significantly. You make a significant amount of money off of your OnlyFans.
That's right.
You would not be able to do that if men were actually getting laid.
Well, then how come there was
your
a
own
recent
success is contingent upon men not getting laid.
There was a recent study on like you're probably talking about what I'm talking about. The demographics, 90 or something percent of men on OnlyFans are married. So how are they lonely losers?
Because they're not having sex.
Point refuted.
Do you realize, ladies, that so many guys are in marriages where their woman doesn't want to fuck them anymore?
Can I say something?
You'd be surprised.
So I don't want to like expose my friend or anything, but she has sex with her boyfriend every single day. She does everything with him.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be like specific, but we
probably won't know who they are.
He still jerks off to porn 3 times a day, regardless of having sex.
Yes.
He's 18 years old.
But that's incredible sociological survey right
He's
there.
26. He's 6 years older
I guess what my issue is
Can I argue for something very quickly? I think the idea of like, porn addiction comes from a lack of sex is not necessarily true or congruent. And the reason why I would argue this is because porn addiction is basically just like sexual gratification on the constant, right? You could be having constant. It's basically another form of sex addiction, in my opinion. Because when you're having a sex addiction, you want to constantly get off, and it's the same thing with a porn addiction. You're constantly looking
but
for
way
that
more people
short-term
have a porn
gratification.
addiction than a sex addiction.
That's fair.
I mean,
That's fair.
Like 100 to 1.
100%. But the point that I'm trying to get across is that you could still be having sex with other people and still have a porn addiction.
You could be, but the issue is we have all these.
You guys are fantastic at like isolating certain things versus again looking at the totality of the circumstances.
Total.
Just common sense. Let's just use some common sense. Why has dating content exploded over the past couple of years? Why has there been more men reporting loneliness and depression?
Yes.
Why are most men single? Why are so many guys addicted to porn? Why are so many guys struggling to get dates? Why do so many men fail on Instagram with DMing girls? Why do so many guys strike out when they talk to women? Why do most guys get rejected? If you look at the totality of the circumstances, it's very obvious.
My point is, why are we here? Why is there a Fresh and Fit? Why are his books best-selling? Why do I have 2,700 clients?
When it comes to porn addiction, it's super misunderstood. I would look at Dr. Nicole Prouse, UCLA neuroscientist. No, moral incongruence seems to be a huge factor when it comes to porn.
They got to stop inviting this person on the guest. She's been on there too many times. In fact, if she comes on here one more time or two, Fresh and Fit needs a cut from her OnlyFans. And that's a fact.
Porn addiction. It's not even considered an addiction by the ABA.
That's fine, but what I'm saying is that's one thing. Then the friendless thing is another thing.
The friendless thing is a huge thing.
For sure. But then there's Scott Galloway talking about the inequity of dating, and then Chris Williamson today talking about 50% of men dropping out of dating.
50.
And then the people watching this, and all the other content with millions of people watching, and Andrew Tate becoming the most Google person in the world, and me, my little ass getting 2,700 clients, and his books being bestsellers. At some point, something is fucking broken. 30% of men on dating apps or on Tinder, Bumble, and Hinge are fucking married. Something is broken.
Yes, I understand that. And I don't know if you guys, I recommend everyone read Johan Hari's Lost Connections. I do agree with you. Actually, social media, social media does seem to have contributed to a lot of these issues, especially when it comes to loneliness for everybody. I agree there are issues. I just don't think there's prevalent.
Because before they cited the 2018 study and you're saying it's not that high. And what I'm telling you is that it's definitely damn near close, if not spot on, because when you look at all the other factors and use critical thinking, look at the explosion of dating content for men. Look at the meteoric rise of Andrew Tate fucking wide, right? Because he's saying things that are very basic, but a lot of guys have not been able to express.
You have to understand, like literally, like Andrew, what is his name? Date Psych, whatever his name is. His entire existence comes from trying to go against what people in this space are saying. He wouldn't even exist if there wasn't a problem.
I agree with you, and I'm not disagreeing that there has been I agree with Reeves, right? There has been an attack, quote unquote, on masculinity. Now I agree with him also that this type of content is not the best solution, but I'm not saying that there isn't a problem. But we're also like, oh, look at all these people watching this. Well, yeah, it's like being in a hospital and being like, look at all these sick people. Yeah,
but like David Buss doesn't go on Joe Rogan. There is no Scott Galloway talk. Like this entire thing, like we aren't even paying attention to it if it isn't a thing.
Exactly.
I agree with you. That's why I read of Boys and Men. I'm not a boy, but I care about this, and I do think that, and I like how he put actual policy proposals.
The point I'm trying to make is that there is an overwhelming
based on social.
Because you were trying to make the argument before. You're not going to necessarily have stats for everything. What I'm trying to say is there's absolutely an overwhelming amount of men that are fucking clueless and not getting laid. That's a fucking fact.
That's true, but I don't think
that's a fact.
Okay, so you're arguing. Real quick, you had a question, but before you said a question, by the way, your friend's pussy's trash. That's why. Go ahead.
Whoa! All right, so what I really wanted to say was the dating pool. The bottom line is the dating pool is in shambles right now, and I feel as though women are trying to be men.
The men they wanted to marry.
So now the men are no longer wanting to play their role. Long story short, just
they're not incentivized to play their role.
And to add on to that, I agree with her. I think female promiscuity added to that and made more simps.
Question for you for dating. What do you think is the problem? They just mentioned women trying to be men, but what do you think?
I think it's both sides. I think men need to be better men. I think the world has become more like convenient and easy and instant gratifications and all that. So I think
like herself.
Men also, we don't need to just tell women like, oh, y'all should lower your standards. Everybody should raise their standards on both sides. So
everyone needs a raise.
What about you? What do you think?
I agree with them.
Nah, come on, something original.
I really do agree with them. I think that like now.
Sure, you do.
Women are trying to be men. They're trying to take the higher role, and I just don't think a guy would want a woman who's doing all that because
women have become the men that they want to marry.
Yeah, what's the point of him doing what he's supposed to be doing?
You know what I think it is? I feel like the reason why this debate keeps going is because sorry. Merch. I just got dunked on. That was on me. I got that one. Is because we're describing two sides of the same coin, right? There's more women in the workplace. That means there's less marriage and a lower rate of fertility and more divorce. There's more women in the workplace. That's great because it has more freedom for women to leave bad relationships. You're saying the same thing statistically. It's just what you're saying is these things are good and this is great. Go ahead.
Women act off emotion, so I think.
Got it. Yes,
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. Well, when it's another thing. Women acting on emotion. It's just like two sides of the same coin. Because you're more progressive. The egalitarian nature of what's happened in the last couple of years. You're like, that's worth it. It's worth it to have a lower fertility rate. It's worth it to have fewer people getting married. And our side is saying, well, no, that's actually bad.
So why then are the most educated people, which academia leans left, right? Why are they the ones getting married more than before and everyone else is getting married less? Why are the least educated people? Why are the least educated people getting married less and the most educated people getting married more then?
Because they're incentivized to do so socioeconomically. It's better for them to get hell, everybody says, oh, you're going to be happy, you're going to be better off if men make more money when they're married, right? And the other thing is they're not. We're still at the lowest fucking marriage rate in recorded history.
So what you're saying is educated people get married more, and what he's saying is just people in general getting married less.
I agree with that, and I would also say there are like religious, cultural reasons for that. We're becoming less religious as a society. We're culturally becoming.
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it has to do with the machine itself.
And also, one other thing too, because you were saying that women just have the ability to leave shitty relationships. What I would say, because we got to define what a shitty relationship is, for most women, that's going 50-50, which is what you prescribe, which is what you want, but most women don't want that, is what I'm trying to say.
I don't think what I'm saying is that women who are divorcing men, I don't think they're doing it, which is why college educated women are less likely to do it, to get into that situation in the first place. They're with these men. A lot of women are with men because they provide for them financially, and the women who aren't with them for any other reason, like they actually love them, when they get that financial incentive, they're more likely to leave a man that they don't love. But if you love somebody, you don't just get divorced because you made money.
Which again goes back to the point we were making earlier. Like, she does have validity in what she's saying, and the point that she's talking about the average everyday guy. And the whole premise of this podcast is teaching men how to become high value men. That's why you guys are on here. That's why the guests who are on this panel are here, because we're trying to make.
So what percentage of men can be high value? Because they can't make if everyone's high value, then no one's high value. So the majority are still not going to be high value.
16%. Okay. No, 1.5 standard deviation.
It's not even just being high value. It's about, because not everyone's going to be high value, but everyone can understand female nature.
Yes. Let me see if I can
be attractive.
Let's see if I can put this 1.5 standard deviation.
She will not stop. Hold on, real
60%.
quick. Philly.
Cool. That was a clip from the Fresh and Fit podcast. Anyways, if you enjoyed this reaction video, put a like and subscribe. Put a comment below if you got something to say about it. I'll see you all next time.